Morning, it's Tuesday, the 11th of February 2019. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. You will notice I have trimmed off the leaves. So I've done that. What job haven't I done? What job haven't I done this morning, eh? What job haven't I done? Won't take very long for him to notice if he's here this morning. Very good morning, boys and girls. Welcome along to the show today. The sun's out. Sun's been out all morning, actually. It's very, very nice out there. The wind's died right off. I had to go out this morning. And to be honest, although we're surrounded by pine trees here, there's two trees that have gone down. But where you see where they've snapped off, they were already rotten. A little bit like me, to be honest. Let's be honest. I'm rotten through to the core. Absolutely. So they were probably going to come down anyway. There's also another tree just around the side there that has fallen over. Actually, this happened before the storm. I thought it was going to go down during the storm, but it hasn't done yet. It's fallen over and it's stopped by another tree that's there, and you can hear it creaking as the two things rub against each other. I really thought that was going to come down, but it's still up there. So maybe I'll be there for years to come. So nice day this morning. I was tempted to get out my bikini this morning, boys and girls, and lay in the garden. It's so nice. Really. It's a little bit chilly out, but as I say, the sun's out. My solar panels are whirring into action, providing electricity for most of this country. Yes, England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. A lot of people don't realise that. The very fact that you're watching the show at the moment is because of my solar panels, boys and girls, pouring electricity directly for the... But where's Greta Thunberg? She should be here looking at my solar panels, dear. Well, she is on her way, actually. She's walking. She's walking from New York to these... It might be a bit long. So she might be a bit longer before she gets here. Little Greta Thunberg. Bless her heart. So I might wear my bikini later. I haven't decided. Not mankini. They just look horrendous. Does make me laugh. Some of these blokes, they put on these mankini things and they think it looks good. No, mate. It doesn't look good. Speedos don't look good on anyone over the age of 35. And you see them in the swimming pool, dear. You see these blokes in the swimming pool, same sort of size as me, same sort of age as me, and they've squeezed in to a pair of budgie smugglers, or, even worse than that, cycling shorts. Lads, what do you look like? For God's sake, a little bit of decorum in the swimming pool. Loose shorts. Looser the better. Not so loose that they fall down. Well, that happened to me once. Oh, yes, the string went. It's twice, actually. This is twice. It's happened because I go swimming. Well, I'm not going anywhere near as much as I used to. But I got in the pool one day, and I don't know what happened. I don't think I had the script. I was swimming along, and suddenly my shorts were behind me. Unfortunately, it was only a few other people in the pool, and they were down the other end. That's one thing that happened. And the other thing that happened a long time ago now is I tend to... I wear clothes until they are reduced to dust. Yeah, I'm not someone, that looks a bit old today. Let's buy a new one. No, I can't be doing anything like that. No, that's just wrong. It's wrong. We must recycle. Anyway, I had this pair of swimming trunks. Actually, I'll tell you how long this was ago. Remembering what I just said to you about, people my age wearing Speedos. At the time, I was wearing Speedos. I was about 32 or 33, and I was in this pool. And I was going up and down, and I thought someone kept touching my bum as I was. I kept looking back. Of course, there's no one there as I was swimming along. I said, touch my, perhaps I was just hopeful. I don't know. Perhaps I was just hopeful. I swear there was someone touching my bum, and I kept looking back, and there was no one there. And in the end, this pool boy came over. Unfortunately, not one of the nice ones, one of the older ones, Not the sort of 25, 26-year-olds, sit up there, proud as anything, watching all the girls. Not one of those. It was one of the older ones, disappointed. Excuse me, mate, you got something wrong with your trunks. What's wrong? He said, the back's collapsed. And I put my hand down. My bum was showing in it. But that was an accident. It was an accident. These people that wear budgie smugglers and a mankini is the worst possible thing you can wear anyway. So I shan't be wearing one of those today. We're a little bit late today. I had a phone call actually this morning. I was all kind of ready to go. Actually, it was about 10 o'clock I was ready to go. And it was a phone call from the doctor, from the doctor's surgery. We have two doctors here. One very close to me and one not too far away. Oh, they're both fairly close, right? And it was the nurse. I was seeing the nurse today for a pneumonia injection. Have you had one of those? Oh, fuck. Can I just open that window? I'm quite a bit hot in here again. 1 minute. Let me just open the window. A pneumonia injection. Thanks very much for your messages coming through, boys and girls. I shall come to those in a moment. Yes, a pneumonia injection. So she says, I'm ever so sorry. I booked you in at the wrong place. Can you come to Great Hollands? I said, yeah, that's no problem. I said, I'm on for 12:15. When do you want me to come? That at this point, I would have had to just do the show later this afternoon or tonight. She said, you can come any time from now. I said, oh, okay, well, I'll come down now then. So that's why we're late this morning. So that plus I got up late as well after last night's excellent karaoke, I have to say. So I got my bike out, jumped on my bike and went down there and had my 2 injections. And that was one injection. I had one injection. I got in there, we got this touch screen thing in there. So you put your name in, you put your date of birth. So I put my date of birth in, 5th of February. And does it ask the year? I can't remember now. And then it asks for the first letter of your surname. So you put R in. And then your name just comes up on the screen and you put check in here and you just check in and that's it. All done. Good, isn't it? And then I sat down. 2 minutes later, my name flashed up on the screen, which is always embarrassing because I'm a very well-known person. International celebrity, I am. International. Your name flashes up on the screen. Christopher Reardon, please go to room 32. At which point everyone looked, oh my God, it's Chris Reardon from the television. I'm a very, very popular person. Very well known. Very well known. So I've gone to this corridor and I'm looking, doctors 1, 2, 3, 4. I know, where's blooming room 30? So I've gone down this corridor. Can't find it, can I? I've been to this doctor's surgery before, just not the nurse's office. So I come back out, spoke to one of the old bags on reception, the ones that you have to get past to see anyone. Excuse me, where's room 32? Oh, it was so much effort. It's just down the second corridor, second on the left. Oh, well, thanks very much for your help. You're very, very helpful. Thank you. So I come around there, went down the second corridor on the left. As I walked in, there were 2 people. I thought, oh, Christ, here we go. We've got the trainee. I thought, oh, no, here we go. We got the trainee. So there's a doctor sitting there. I knew she was the doctor because she was looking all important. The glasses were on. The keypad was being typed at. And she was looking down at notes. Very, very important person. Very, very important person. And then there was the nurse there. And I said, oh, you must be the trainee. She said, that's right. I said, well, don't worry. I don't mind being learnt on. Not learnt. There's a lot of people that lean on me. Learnt on, I said. And then she went into this spiel that she'd clearly got from some sort of script. Oh, hello, Mr. Reardon. We've got 2 pneumonia injections. The first one is for people... and then she gave me some explanation. And the second one is for children and older people. You're entitled to 2 because of what you have. They don't tell you what it is. 2 because of what you have. The third, but we can't do them together. The first one will be today, and the second one will be in 4 weeks' time. Okay, thanks very much. And then she gets the packet out. At this point, I look away because I can't stand needles, dear. Oh, I can't bear needles. No. So I'm now looking at the doctor and I thought, come on, girl. Any moment now you're going to break out into a smile. Go on, girl. Try and smile. Try not to sit there and moan and moan and moan. Try and sit there and smile. And I think I got a smile out of her because I put on the campness at that point. Oh, you got a trainee. Oh, I always seem to get the trainees, dear. I put on the campness. And that creates a smile in people. It always does. Look at Larry Grayson. How can you not watch Larry Grayson on The Generation Game? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Shut that door and enjoy the Generation Game. Ba-ba. I said, I never look at the injection. I could hear the packet opening now. I could hear the packet opening of the injection, right? And I said, go on, do it then, do it. And I felt it going, oh, how long is this going to be? How long is it? And it was out. So not too bad. No, actually, she wasn't too bad at all. It's not too bad at all. So I was happy with that. And then she gave me the spiel again about contacting them in. Oh, I better write that down on my very extensive calendar. So much here. Look at all that on the calendar there, darling. So, a very, very busy person. Now, what did she say? The 10th ring doctor. There we are. Oh, hang on. I've got to do it 2 weeks ahead. So Tuesday the 3rd. Tuesday the 24th. Oh, that's on Shrove Tuesday. Pancake Day coming soon. Arranged doctor. What was it? Pneumonia. Oh, Christ, how do you spell pneumonia? Arranged doctor, pneumonia. And that'll be my second pneumonia injection. So that's all right, isn't it? That's all well done. I said, is there any side effects to this one? She said, none at all. You shouldn't experience anything at all. My arm's fine. That's working perfectly all right just at the moment, dear. You know, I'm able to talk, fortunately. That's the worst thing when you can't talk. Anyway, when you're trying to make that noise and it just won't come out your mouth. Awful. Awful. So I came out of there. And honestly, this is Great Hollands. You don't really want to live in Great Hollands in Bracknell. Okay, as I've come round the corner, there's 3, young tracksuit suits, boys, about, I don't know, 16, 17 years old. And they're walking that way. I'm behind them on my bike, but I'm going to turn off. I'm not going to go down their path. And all I could smell was that marijuana smoke. I mean, for Christ's sake, 11 o'clock in the morning. Are you for real? Oh, dear me. Awful, awful. And I cycled back here. I've come straight up the stairs and here we are. So good morning to you. Good afternoon it is now. Good afternoon. That's why a little bit late today. So I'm looking forward to having that other injection there. Right, let's say hello to some of you this morning. Good morning to Stephen Petty. Morning. First message of the day to Stephen. Hello to Paul and Lou. Good morning to you. Hello to Dr. Gregorian. An absolute pleasure to see you last night at the karaoke. I mean, I can't tell you how happy I was to see you at the karaoke last night. Dr. Gregorian there. We had a lovely, pleasant karaoke. Certainly not busy at first, but we got a little bit busier towards the end. And some people that you don't normally see if you're watching the live stream. We had technical difficulties last night. Not on the stage, on the internet side of things. But I don't think it was the internet, actually. It wasn't the internet. And usually, it's the laptop mucks up, I said with an M. It's usually the laptop that mucks up when there is an update waiting. Okay? So we had this problem, which I thought was just the picture freezing. But sometimes you can change cameras and then it just starts working again on that laptop. But wasn't the case. So it just kept freezing all the time. And then I looked back and then I realised the chat had gone down as well. Now, I don't know where the fault was last night. It certainly wasn't the internet because my other computer is also connected to the internet doing stuff on it, and that was perfectly all right. So it wasn't the internet last night. And then I thought, well, let's see if there's an update. So I shut down the program, looked for the update, no update. And I thought, well, shall I fire up the program again? Or no, I thought, no, I'll restart it. So I restarted it and then it was fine after that. So I'm glad that was sorted out. As I say, that was really the only thing that was wrong last night. We had a very pleasant karaoke. And I say, Dr. Gregorian turned up last night, which was absolutely lovely. And, of course, Michael Lawrence, who's often here in the morning. Good morning to Fran Green. Morning, Fran. Michael Polman, hello to you. Mick Davenport in the house. There's Brenda from Bristol. There's Michael Lawrence. He was there last night playing pool down the back, weren't you, Michael? Was someone trying to get off with you last night, weren't they? I'm sure they were. Now, who was it? Who was trying to get off with Michael last night? I can't remember. I observed it. I see everything from that stage, dear. Don't you worry about that. Daddy is watching. Daddy is watching. Hello to Diane Jeb. Good morning, Diane. LaBelle in the house. Good morning, LaBelle. Your emerald-eyed Valentine of magic. No buying Valentine's flowers before or on Valentine's. Do it afterwards. Save a small fortune, my darlings, okay? You will save a small fortune if you do it afterwards there. Hello to Alan Wainwright. Good morning, Alan. Welcome to the show. Hello to Rowan. Hello, Rowan. All right. Not ready to do the tickets yet. Calendar, that's correct, Roy Brownlow. The calendar is still off-site because I know it upsets you. Each day it's going to look even worse just to upset you and your OCD. You won't be able to take any notice of anything else. You're just drawn towards that crooked calendar, aren't you? In fact, I might start a 24-hour live stream of just that calendar. So you can log on whenever you want and find something else to complain about if you want to. All right, my love? OCD attack here. Yeah, there we are. Hello to Sam. Good morning to you, Sam. Sam458. All your stuff went off, incidentally, Monday, except Mark Bowles, because he was a bit late sending the email in for his letter. So here it is, Mark. Oh no, Mark's not here today. He's got a little medical issue he's got to deal with today as well. So that'll be going off straight after the show. Actually, I put my dinner in the oven and walk along to the post box. It's not far from here. Good morning to Colin Coates. Morning to you, sir. Morning, Colin. Joey Millen in the house. Hello, young Joey. All right. Hope things are all right where you are. Russ Vernon has had snow in Yorkshire. Rather you than me, Russ. I hate snow. I absolutely hate snow. Hate snow. Tony King, morning Tony, hello. Let's have a look. Manilo's phoned me, complained. Manilo hasn't phoned you, Roy. No stars want to know you. You don't know any stars or celebrities, only me. You know, I look at talking to you as a sort of charity thing, you know? I do, you know, it's like, have you ever heard of a mercy? Oh, I can't really say that. I talk to you as a mercy chat because I know no one else talks to you. Wherever you go, no one talks to Roy Brownlow. So I look at talking to you as like a mercy thing. And in the Catholic Church, we have to forgive people. We have to. It's in the Bible. It doesn't matter what people assume about you or judge you or anything else. We have to forgive. I think there's been a lot of forgiveness going on recently. Good morning to Daniel Holmes. Good morning, Daniel Holmes. There he is. Adam the plumber is in the house. Adam was very busy yesterday fixing roofs and replacing bits of glass that have been smashed by the wind. Terrible wind there's been. I didn't know my sister had been travelling across the whole country, blowing off like that. Awful. Tony loves the new backdrop. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, that went up yesterday. I much prefer that to the last one. I didn't like the last one. I'll never tell you really if I don't like it. But you see, it's quite effort to put it all up. So once you put it up, you think, oh, might as well leave it there for a few weeks, you know. So I'm glad you like that. Good morning to Amelia Dodd. Oh, it's afternoon now. Good afternoon, Amelia Dodd. Welcome to the show, my dear. Slow mode. What is slow mode? Slow mode slows down the amount of chats that you can put up because it's just become so busy, it's impossible to keep up with stuff. Okay? It also should give everyone the same sort of chance of chatting. Most people will send a message now and again. So that's the whole idea of the slow mode. We tried it yesterday. I was quite happy with how it worked yesterday. I think it's set at about 20 to 25 seconds, something like that. And it does appear to be working quite well. We'll keep that up for a couple of weeks and we'll see what happens, all right? We'll just see what happens. Because in normal mode, there's just hundreds and hundreds coming in and it's impossible to keep up. Really impossible. So that's why. Someone suggested, well, why don't you do it for email? You know, if people want to send a message to you, do that as an email and just have the chat box open. I think that's a bit messy. I'm also aware, I think it was LaBelle told me, if she wants to send an email, and I know some of you watch on phones, don't you? Or perhaps a little pad of some sort. To send an email, you've got to come out of the show. Open an email program and send an email like that. It's all right if you're on a computer, but it's difficult for people who are on an iPad. So I tend not to prefer the email thing really because of that. So we're just trying the slow mode for a couple of weeks to see how it goes, and I'll see if most people don't seem to bother at all. No one's really mentioned it. One person, I think, has mentioned, so that's great. Sam's got his pen this morning. Excellent. Yeah, we don't muck around with the post. As long as you get your orders in quickly, you know, as soon as you've sort of won something or bought something on the Super Chat, send your email right away and to go out the next day. If it take a little bit of a time to do it, then you might miss me when I go to the post, all right? Good morning to Heidi. Hello to Heidi. Fran's looking forward to snow. I don't like snow at all. Oh, someone's got their T-shirt. Who's got the T-shirt? See, even now, there's still a lot coming in now. There's still quite a lot coming in now. I just saw the T-shirt message. Hello to Daniel Holmes. I think I said hello to Daniel, didn't I? Sorry, I might repeat myself sometimes. Who's got the T-shirt? There we are. Thank you, one man and his Sprinter van. Oh, yeah. This is. I think I like this jacket. Nice blue one. This is one of the slightly more expensive ones than the cheap ones there. There's the pen message. I can't find the T-shirt message now. There we are. Tony King's got his T-shirt. Excellent, Tony. Glad you got the T-shirt. You notice it had 3 second-class stamps on it. I just found an envelope with 3 second-class stamps on it, so it wasn't sent. I think I'm not so sure that they look at what the stamp says. It's the value of the stamp that get it to you. So if that went, so that didn't go second class. If you got that today, that didn't go second class. It got there when I always book first class. It's only a case of a few pence anyway. Someone did try to get off with him. Yeah, who was it, Michael? Can we have a name, please, dear? Can we have a name? I'm certainly not a Z-list celebrity. How rude. Good morning to Billy B. Welcome to the show, Billy. Hello, Billy, to you. Your old backdrops are behind the ones you have. That's right, yes. The old backdrops are actually behind there. Would you want to see? Oh, I can't really show you. Let's move the camera. I hate moving a camera. Did you see Amanda when she moved my camera up at the Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex? Oh, my God. If that had been anyone else, they would have been dead. I'll tell you that now. All right. Did I say hello to you, Billy B? Welcome, Billy B. Welcome to the show to you. And Ollie Bob TV in the house as well. Hello to Ollie Bob. Email about the bingo. Alan Wainwright. Yes. And I replied to it, Alan. Have you looked? I've replied. Let me see. Sent. Where are you? There's the raffle ticket things there. Sent. Alan, there. I've replied to you, Alan. I've replied to you. So if you can't see the reply, my guess is it's going in another folder. I bet it's going in another folder, Alan. I replied to you yesterday at 10:44, actually, yesterday morning. Almost immediately, actually, as soon as I finished the show, I replied to you. So if you can't see that email, for some reason, my emails are going to another folder. Check your spam folder. And your, what's the other one someone found us in? There's a social folder. There's a promotions folder. If you're on, are you on Gmail? Let me have a look. It's in there somewhere, mate. It's got to be there somewhere. Yep. It's got to be there somewhere. Have a good look there, all right? Where are we? Michael's in bed ready for bedtime stories. Plenty of bedtime stories for you, okay? Have a good look in there, Alan. Let us know, mate, all right? So I've had my injection. No show tomorrow morning. I've got a hospital trip tomorrow. I've got at the Royal Free, where they're treating someone for coronavirus. God's sake, man. We really are taking our lives into our hands now. So I've got a little hospital trip tomorrow morning. Got to be there for 12. So no show tomorrow morning. Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe not. Just depends. Okay? So maybe tomorrow night. Maybe not. I've watched episode 3 now of Picard on Amazon Prime. Do you get that where you are, Michael? Picard. That's a Star Trek thing. Picard on Amazon Prime. Or maybe it's on a different channel there. All these blooming streaming services, honestly, it's so much in it to pay for if you've got all these things. I've now got Netflix and Amazon Prime. Mind you, the Amazon Prime, that comes with like the postage that comes the next day and all that. Although I have to say, I ordered something. Now, when was it I ordered it? Let's have a look. I ordered a little audio item on Monday. No, not Monday the 10th. That's enough something else. Hang on a minute. When did I order this thing? Bay ring. I've ordered another microphone for in here as well, which wasn't very cheap. It was only 25 quid. I hope it's a reasonable quality. It's the same make as this one, except this one is much dearer than 25 quid. It's just for like a guest, because I'm hoping to have a guest in the next couple of weeks. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. I can't remember now. I ordered something last Monday, not yesterday. Oh, it'd be next day. And they said, it's been held up. Guess who the delivery service is? Blooming Yodel. Yodel. Oh, for Christ's sake, not Yodel. I have trouble with Yodel. My brother-in-law has had the most terrible trouble with Hermes. Put it in the post office, dear. Why can't they just send everything in the post office? These blooming things are useless. Absolutely useless. Roy's got his dodgy key ring. Excellent. I've got dodgy key rings here, boys and girls. Anyone wants one of those? These are only, for the stamp, £1.50. Not charging you. Now, hang on a minute. Wait. Don't send anything now. These are the ones that didn't come out well. Okay? So they didn't charge me for them. They refunded me. Right? All I want is the price of the stamp, which is about £1.50. I think it's about £1.50, plus an envelope as well. All right? So if you want one of those, you can see it. It's blurred. The writing is blurred. All right? So they're £1.50 if you want one. And that's fine. Or we got good ones. They are £2.50 super chat. All right? So whatever you want there, let us know. Stickers all here as always. Stickers. Better mention those as well. I don't mention these too often, but now and again. They are stickers. 1 for £1 or 5 for £2. That's available on the super chat. Okay, Tony King loves Pickard. I'm loving it. Thank you very much, Billy B. I'm based in 2 places, actually, Berkshire and Lincolnshire. I'm based in 2 places. I'm in Berkshire at the moment. You see in the top corner there, Billy? Whereabouts are you in Lincolnshire, incidentally? When I'm in Lincolnshire, I'm usually in Lincolnshire Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, half a Friday. And in Berkshire on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's my timings, usually. But at the moment, I'm not in Lincolnshire until April now because the place I stay at there is closed. So I live in 2 places, really, 2 places. All right, in Lincolnshire, I'm in a place called Chapel Hill. Do you know Chapel Hill? It's a lovely place, absolutely lovely place. Good day to Jack Matthews. Greetings, Jack. Heidi loves Pickard as well. We love it. We absolutely love it. Absolutely love it, Pickard. Good. Right. What we're going to talk about there. Oh, there's a couple of things I'm going to see soon. I haven't got the tickets yet. I must get a ticket. I'm going to see a couple of gang shows, hopefully. Maybe 1, maybe 2. Or definitely 1, maybe 2. 2 gang shows. One's in Basingstoke. I can't remember when that one is. I can't remember when I've got to look these up. And one looks like it's in Kingston, the South West London gang show. Now, what is a gang show? Basically, it's scouts and guides who get together to put on a show. Why is this of interest to me? Because years ago when I was little, and in my younger man days, sort of between, I did 1 in a Cubs. So what's Cubs? 10? Is that 10? I think Cubs is 10. 10, so from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think I was in the gang show for either 8 or 9 years, something like that. And that was in 2 gang shows. I was in the Roehampton gang show, which was the country's only group show. The Roehampton Scouts, that was a group. Okay? No longer there. How sad is that? I looked them up the other day. First Roehampton Scouts. Gone. Some years ago. That is so sad. So sad. First Roehampton Scouts disbanded years ago. Couldn't believe it when I looked that up. I had such fun times in the Scouts, camping and doing these shows and learning things. And these were the days before health and safety, you know. Kids used to get their legs cut and there was no mum coming down to, "Why, you're not looking after my boy. He's got cuts on his legs," and all that old crap, dear. All the snowflakes are here. There was none of that then. You used to go home with a cut on your leg. Oh, and my mum might say to me, "Oh, Christopher, what have you done?" Anyway, let's sort that out. And she'd rub it a bit and put a plaster on it and do it like that. You know, sort it out. Didn't go running down to the scout hut complaining, "My boy's been abused by a stone," or something like that. We used to have these primer stoves, not gas stoves. And I never forget once we were in the scout hut. This is in Roehampton. That's gone as well. That's a block of flats now. It's incredibly sad to see your childhood just being removed from you. It's so sad. So, oh, come on, Mick. How can you have had an empty envelope? Really? You're not the first one to say that. I think when we get to the end of these prizes, we're stop sending out. There's just too much stuff going missing. It's getting silly, this is. How can you have an empty envelope from me? What is it you're supposed to have? And I'll put another one in the post for you. This is just getting silly now. Stuff is going missing left, right and centre here in the post. It really does. You're not the first one to say that. Someone's nicking stuff out of the post. It's just pointless, isn't it? It's absolutely pointless trying to send stuff out. It's happened again. What were you supposed to get? Huh? Sometimes, I don't send out empty envelopes. The same thing happened to young Shania. That was it. Shania and her dad. It was a yellow key ring, was it? Right. Get another one there. Send for your address again. This is just too much. It really is. Right, let's put this on here. Do another one. This is getting just ridiculous. Another stamp. There we are. Large letter stamp going on there. All ready for your address? Send your address through. There'll be another one out tomorrow. Okay. Where was I with the... See, I shouldn't look at those messages while I'm doing the stories. I can't remember where I am now. First Roehampton, yes. So they're gone now. And it was wonderful doing these gang shows. So we all used to come together, the Scouts and the Guides. Let me just close that programme, that chat minute. The Scouts and Guides would come together once a year and put on a show. We put on a show. And I was in two types of gang shows. As I say, there was our group gang show, the Roehampton gang show. And we were the only group, because we were quite a large group. It was like first Roehampton, second Roehampton, third Roehampton, and 2 or 3 lots of guides as well. We get together and we would perform in the early days at a place called Manresa College. Small stage, just a small stage. And then we moved from there to Southfields College and Wandsworth Boys School as well. We did shows there as well. And it all worked very well. And we'd go there and we'd do all amateurs, the same as I'm here, sitting here, just an amateur really, doing my thing. And we go on the stage and dance around and dress up and do singing. And we would do sketches. And it all worked really well. It worked really well, really well. So that was the gang show there. And then there was the South London gang show, which I was in. And that was in Lewisham. And my dad would have to take us there for rehearsals, which was always on a Sunday. I think it was a Sunday afternoon. I can still see those chats. Just a minute. It really puts me off when I'm trying to do stories and I can see chats. There we are. Let's move that down. Can't see them now. And Lewisham. That's it. Yeah, Lewisham. And we would rehearse in this school, if I remember rightly, and you'd have to go up these stairs and there'd be the polished show and you had to audition for that one, but generally I think most people got in anyway. And that would happen there. And then that show was once at Lewisham Theatre. And in this particular show, I never forget, I was playing the piano, grand piano on the stage. And it was they had all this like a smoke effect. Now the smoke effect was actually dry ice. So by the time you got to the keyboards, your fingers were sliding all over these keys. Your fingers were sliding all over these keys as you were trying to play this piano. But it didn't matter anyway. And I asked, for the next show, can you keep the keyboard cover down? Oh, Christ, now they're sawing up a blooming tree. Go, you can't go. This is going terribly wrong. Just a moment. Shut up! Can you shut up? Oh, dear. Now they're sawing a blooming tree down. Oh, it might be that one that's leaning against the thing. So, yes, in Lewisham Theatre. And then another couple they did in Catford Girls' School. But it was a bit of a journey. And I was getting quite a lot of sketches to learn. And for those, you had to learn words. And I wasn't very good at learning words. And I remember this, it was this particular year. And we had to learn the words for this sketch. And it just wouldn't stick in my pathetic head. Just wouldn't stick in my stupid head. So on the week of the show, I called in sick. I got Mum to go, oh, I can't do this, Mum. I can't do this. So she called in sick. I didn't ask us back after that. But that was it. But fantastic gang shows. And that's why I want to go and see these two gang shows, because they're actually not too far from me. And as I'm down south at the moment, I thought I might as well go. So one's in Basingstoke, which is, it might be next week actually. And the other one is the Southwest Gang Show, which is being held in Kingston. So very much looking forward to going to those. Right, let's just bring that chat back up there, if I can somehow. There it is. I've got it back there. Did we say hello to John Aitken? Good morning to John Aitken. Welcome, John. Where are we going? The pen smells of me, does it, Sam? Well, that's interesting. How would you know how I smell, Sam? You've never met me. How could you know that the pen smells of me? You know, you haven't been sitting on it by any chance, have you? Probably smells of you, dear. All right. Billy is Chapel Hill. Oh, you go to Woodall Spa a lot, the Kinema in the woods. Yeah, I've been there, Billy, several times. My sister lives in Woodall Spa. It's a lovely little place, isn't it? Although they're starting to build on the ends of it. And, you know, I mean, the houses have to go somewhere, I suppose. They were very lucky because in Woodall Spa, they were trying to turn over a field near the Abbey Lodge, opposite the Abbey Lodge pub, I think it was. There's a field there. Well, I think the farmer tried to turn it over to housing, and they were all terrified that we're going to have this housing, because new houses are absolutely ghastly, aren't they? Aren't they awful? They just look cheap, like blooming Legoland. I wouldn't want you, if you paid me, I wouldn't want to go in one of those awful Legoland type houses. Every house looks the same. Dreadful. And that's what they would have had in that field, but they managed to fend it off, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Although these blooming builders, they've got a habit of coming back again with another plan until they get what they want. Absolute pain, they really are. Good afternoon to Steph Diamond. Morning to you, Steph. John Aitken, dib dib dob. Now, we never did that, dib dib dob. I've just imagined you in your own scout uniform. I've got a scout uniform. I've got a picture of me in a scout uniform, John. If I remember, I'll use that as the picture for the next show. You know, when you get a picture up, that little picture, that's what's that called? The thumbnail, I think it's called. That picture that comes up to say there's a show and there's a picture of me. I'll try and, if I remember, I'll put that one up on the next one and you'll see it. All right. There you go. Roy's got his keyring all right, so that's good. There's my sister. Use postal bags, not paper envelopes. What, for everything? I don't think that's going to make any difference, Sharon. That won't make any difference. The envelope isn't torn, according to him. The keyring is just not in there. Someone's had the blooming keyring out. How sad must you be to nick a keyring? Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Even Stacey says plastic envelopes as well. No, the pens haven't ripped through it. It's just, it wasn't a pen. It wasn't a pen. It was a keyring. It was a keyring. And it hasn't slipped through the envelope. The envelope is shut. Someone's nicked it. Someone's opened the envelope with that, you know, that thing there, you know, taken it out and sealed it back up again. He's got an empty envelope there. And the same thing happened to Paul Shania last week as well. Shocking. All right. Where are we now? Thank you, Mick. Thank you for that. That's good. Right. Heidi. Hello to Heidi Young. Hello, Heidi Young. All right, Heidi. Have you sold your caravan yet, Heidi? She's on the same site as me up in Lincolnshire. Morning to you, Heidi. Nice to see you there. Alan didn't get the reply. He's had emails afterwards. Not to worry. I keep checking. That's strange, Alan. So you haven't got 3 bingo tickets and an email from me. Have you got another email I can try? Because I actually replied to your email. I hit reply. So whatever, and that's the email that's logged into the system. Alan's not getting my emails. Don't know why that is, Alan. I can't really help you anymore with that. Otherwise, then tell you that. All right. Okie doke. Let's do some more messages there. Let's have a look. HS2! HS2, boys and girls. HS2 is on the way. Woo, woo, yes. Boris Johnson will give the green light to the £106 billion HS2 rail project today. Wow. £106 billion on a little train thing. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Despite Tory fury over the spiralling cost, £106 billion. But you can't even imagine that number in your head, can you? For a train. The high-speed rail project will be rubber stamped by Cabinet this morning before the Prime Minister makes a statement in the Commons. It is expected to patent the massive scheme as part of his plan to level up in the UK with a wider package of infrastructure improvements to boost transport and spread wealth beyond London. That's fantastic, isn't it? Isn't that fantastic? That is absolutely fantastic news. Excellent news. Why is it excellent news? Because of all the jobs. They will want jobs. We will have jobs. There will be a job for someone to make the train noises. And I think I might apply for that. I might apply for the job of making the train noises. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. Or if it's a diesel, it might be an electric train, mightn't it? So that's just the noise of it going over the rails, isn't it? Like this. That sort of noise. Yeah? Is it electric doors? Is it air-operated doors? Electric doors or something like that? I love it. Ministers will try and sweeten the pill by declaring the project will happen but vow to slash the... I mean, how can you slash the price tag? It is what it is, isn't it, really? You can't slash the price tag, really. So that's the HS2 train. What do I think about that? Wow. I think they could probably spend the money on other rail products. I think they should... There used to be many, many more trains than there is now. And someone mentioned the bloke the other day. I can't remember who it is now. Beecham. Was it Beecham? He closed down all the railways or something like that. I don't know. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, send your other email there, please, Alan, and I'll be happy to do that, all right? I'll be happy to do that for you. Okie doke. Let's have a look at what else have we got here. Daily Mirror today. Woman fuming after asking boyfriend to cut her hair. Would you allow someone in your family to cut your hair if they're not a hairdresser? Go on, have a look at your other half. Maybe a sister, your brother, someone like that. A man who gave his girlfriend a drastic DIY haircut says he feels he didn't do anything wrong because she instructed him to do whatever you want. There you go, girls. There you go. It's like, people come up to me at the karaoke nights. Or when I've been DJing before. Can you play me a song? Yeah, I can play you a song. What would you like? Oh, I'll leave it to you. No, what do you want? You tell me what you want. No, you'll be fine. I'll leave it to you. I trust you. I said, if I choose a song, you're not going to like it. So come on, just tell me what you want. No, I'm sure it'll be all right for you. Okay, I'll play your ABBA Dancing Queen. Oh, no, not that one. It's like that, isn't it? You ever get that? Don't ever accept someone saying to you, I'll leave it to you. Don't do that. In the Daily Mirror, it says sometimes when your other half says, just do whatever you want, then you should take it to mean that you should absolutely not do whatever you want. One man learnt this lesson the hard way after his girlfriend asked him to help cut her hair, and she's still mad at what he decided to do. The couple have been together for 6 months, and the man explains that his partner had been saying she needed a haircut but didn't want to pay for it, so instead asked if he would do it. I told her I'd never cut hair before. I wouldn't touch anyone's hair. Sometimes I'd come up behind my sister and I've got a pair of scissors and I'll make the scissors noise. And I grab her hair and I make the scissors noise and she thinks I've cut a chunk out of it. The couple have been together for 6 months and the man explains that his partner had been saying she needed a haircut but didn't want to pay for it. Well, tight old cow. Serves you right then, darling, doesn't it? So instead asked if he would do it. I told her that I'd never cut hair before and had no idea what I was doing. But she said she didn't care, he said. So I figured out why not, it could be fun. So before the haircut, I asked how she wanted it, and she told me I could do whatever I wanted. She was very casual about the whole thing, and I thought she didn't really care how it turned out. I love this. I love this. I started cutting her hair above her shoulders, probably taking off around 12 to 14 inches of hair. Pretty soon, when she saw all the hair on the ground, she realised how short I was cutting it. She stood up and started yelling, "No, what you done to my hair? What you done to my hair?" He tried to calm her down, but she ended up sulking when he finished the job. Well, that's not his fault, my love. It's your fault. Because you're a tight-fisted cow. Spend the money, dear. The man said he thinks it turned out pretty good for a free haircut. But she's still mad. Why would you let someone cut your hair if they're not a hairdresser? My niece has cut my hair before, but then she's a trained hairdresser, you know. Trained hairdresser. Surely you must be absolutely mad to let someone who's a non-hairdresser, cutter type person snip away at your hair. I know some of probably you blokes on there, you got one of those things. Those of you with lacking hair, same as me, go and a lot of blokes do it themselves. I've been in a swimming pool in Boston, and there's been a bloke at the sink, not with a bzz, but with a razor, you know, doing it like that, and they're quite happy to do it. I wouldn't do it myself, you know. I wouldn't do it myself. I can't even get the hairs out of my nose properly. Look, they're growing out like that, love. Didn't I see a fashion somewhere that people had that involved hair growing out of the nose? How awful is that? Why would you do that? Have hair growing out your nose? Disgusting. Really is. Scrolling back a little bit there to Alan Wainwright. Okay, yeah, send us another email from a different email address, Alan, and I'll change that in the bingo system as well. If you do that now, my darling, then I can do that when I finish the show, and you should be set up for next week. Have you checked all your folders? It's got to be there somewhere. I don't understand why you're not. You're the first person ever not to get the emails. The first person ever. Often I get someone, even my lovely niece-in-law, Stacey, Gary's wife, she complained once she wasn't getting her emails, and she found them in the promotions folder eventually, like I think the next day or a few hours later. They usually always, we've never had them not actually turn up there. I don't have any more T-shirts at the moment, Trevor. I certainly haven't got that size. Just waiting for a few more to come. I'm a little bit sending stuff out at the moment. I'm getting a little bit unhappy about doing that because there's just stuff going missing all the time. Mick, there's a 1/2-inch hole in the side of the envelope. I suppose that must have been a machine done that. Perhaps if I put them in a piece of paper as well, put a staple in the top. So I was incorrect there. I thought someone had opened the envelope from what you were saying. When you said there's an empty envelope, you didn't say there was a hole in it, did you? So that doesn't sound like someone's nicked it at all. That's come out somehow. So in future, I'll put those. Usually I'll wrap something in a piece of paper. I didn't think it was necessary to wrap those in a piece of paper. You wouldn't have thought that, would you? You wouldn't really have. I just assumed that, but now I see what it is. It's a hole in the side of the envelope, so that's probably what happened. Okie doke. So I'm not so worried now because it's obvious that no one has nicked it. All right. Have you got any children? Yes, I have one son. Unfortunately, there's no contact with him at all. And if you don't mind, I'd rather leave that like that. I don't really talk about that. Okay. Heidi. Envelopes go a postcode scanner. If there's lumps, it gets ripped open. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. So clearly I need to wrap a piece of paper. Usually, as I say, the pens always have paper wrapped around them, as you well know there. All right. Steph, yes, you can only send a message once every 25 seconds. It's to slow down the chat because it's become impossible to read a lot of them. All right? That's why that is. Okay. Let's have a look down there. Heidi Young's coming back from Norway when the site opens. Give it a clean and then get it on the market and get the garden sorted. Excellent. Well, I hope you do sell it well, Heidi. There's been a few caravans for sale on the Chapel Hill site for some time now, actually, and they don't seem to have shifted. I don't know why that is. There's a couple that are quite close to me, and one lady bought this one and she'd done it up, to give to her family. Well, the family didn't want it in the end, so she's been trying to sell that for months. So I hope yours goes quickly, my darling. I really do. Good luck with that. All right. We're jumping around a little bit there. Even on the slow mode, it's difficult to keep up. John's cut his hair for years. He uses clippers. What the bzz, bzz thing? Yes, no, I'd be very worried about that. I'd be very, very worried about that. Good afternoon to Effian Davis. Good afternoon, Effian. Welcome to the show. And there's Gary Butler. Gary Butler in the house as well. Good morning to you, Gary. Who's sulking this morning, Gary? Who are you talking about now? Sulking? No one's sulking. I'm not sulking, am I? I hope I'm not sulking. John saw his daughter, 33 for... Oh, okay. So I beg your pardon. John's daughter is 34. I've not seen her for 30 years. Do you know, John, it's just how it is, isn't it? I'm sure your door is always open, isn't it? Your door is always open, but you don't want to interfere in anyone's life or anything. So that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. And just accept what's happened has happened, unfortunately. Okay, school dinners. School dinners. We had the most wonderful school dinners. I mentioned school dinners because in the Daily Mirror today, Daily Mirror again, free school meals to be available to all, regardless of income. I don't know who's going to pay for all this. God's sake. Thousands more children could be entitled to free school meals. Is it that one? Yeah. I'm getting my numbers right now on my little keypad. Free school meals under proposals changed to support thousands of low incomes on the back of soaring requests for food banks. In London, just under 94,000 young children, 94,000, gosh, are currently entitled to free school meals. This is to be offered to those who come from disadvantaged... I beg your pardon. This is offered to those that come from disadvantaged backgrounds, including many families on universal credit or income support, but typically not tax credits. Pupils in government-funded schools are also given meals between reception and year 2. However, according to news research by the Mayor of London, into food insecurity, around 400,000 children have very low food security. I want to know what your school dinners were like. When you was at school, what were your school dinners like? According to City Hall's definition, food insecurity is when a person is or risks being without reliable access to sufficiently... I've just realised what I've done there. I didn't put that in a bit of paper, did I? Let me do it now, because otherwise I'll forget. I think sometimes people don't realise how much involved is doing this. And when something goes wrong, they scream and shout. Hang on a minute. Right. So I have to remember to do that. Just a moment. There we are. Put it in a piece of paper, and I'm sure that'll be all right then. There we are. Right, let's see how that does. Most of the time, I've always put stuff in a piece of paper except for the stickers. Right, that's standing by now. Good. Back to the story. Pupils, where are we? According to City Hall's definition, food insecurity is when a person is or risks being without reliable access to a sufficient quantity of affordable nutritious food. And there's more to that story if you want to read it. That's in the Daily Mail. But we always had, I know there's been sort of something on the telly where there's like this bit of a thing when certain children see some people having free school dinners and they're paying and the other children are taking the mick. I don't remember an incident at all when I was at school. Of course, it's different times and it was different times in the 70s. You didn't necessarily speak all the time if you weren't up for something. How can I explain that? Now, like when you're out, rather than holding back, people just shout and scream at you. Yeah? You know that? I don't think that really happened back in the 70s and 80s. There was a lot more decorum in society as a whole. People were respectful. If something went wrong or you didn't like something, rather than tell them, I don't like that, you'd just keep your mouth shut, wouldn't you? A bit like the karaoke, really. You'd never tell anyone that they're a bad singer. No, absolutely not. Why? Some people, they come on the stage, they're the worst singer in the world. But that is their highlight of the week. What right have I or anyone else got to bring that person down just for your own pathetic self-satisfaction? It's not nice. It's not nice to try and bring someone down. You see this in all sort of things, don't you? Trying to bring people down. If it's a star or a celebrity on the telly, that's a different thing altogether. You have to be able to take that, I think, really. But when it's perhaps someone at a karaoke or something like that, or a child at school, who can't afford school dinners, so they got the free meals. And it was always, I think, obvious. How did it work for us? 3 times a year, my dad would give us a cheque for the school dinners, which wasn't cheap. I think it was about 100 quid. That was back in the 70s. It was about 100 quid for a term or something like that. And Dad would give, and most of the kids would pay in cash. They'd be given the cash, and I had this cheque, and I was always a bit embarrassed about giving the cheque in. So I said, Dad, can I take the cash in instead? Yeah, if you want to. So I used to take the cash in then. And you'd know who had the free dinners because they wouldn't go up and pay. See? But I don't remember a single incident where anyone said, ha, 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 he's got free dinners. Horrible thing to do. And again, that's bringing someone down. Why would you want to do that? This is why I don't like the X Factor. It brings put people on the stage, their entire lives, 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years, they've spent singing, performing, doing something. Then they put them on the stage only to have four uninteresting people, like Cheryl Cole, Simon Cowell, Louis or the other one, or whoever it is on the end, criticise them and bringing them down. I think it's completely unnecessary. I know a lot of people like to watch that sort of telly. I don't. I think it's horrible. And I think you're horrible if you are one of those people that likes to bring people down like that and are just there for that reason. But the school dinners, really, I don't remember ever anyone taking the mick as someone who was having free school dinners. But what were your school dinners like? We had the most wonderful school dinners. Oh, my God. We had fish on Friday, lovely battered cod. We never had chips. I don't ever remember having chips. It was the mashed potato with that wonderful device that scoops it out, and there were vegetables. And we'd also always have half a bread roll. Oh, it was absolutely delicious. Our school dinners, and they were all cooked on site. London Oratory School, the kitchen's there. They were wonderful. I cannot complain once about the school dinners. Yes, once there was a pin. There was a pin in my potato. I was just about to eat it and I noticed there was a pin in there, so I went straight up. Miss, I found this in the potato. And she took us off here and disposed of it. Other people would, oh, I need money for this. Oh, my little boy would have been damaged if he's eaten it. It was just an accident. You know what an accident is? Call Accidents Direct. Get some money for that as well. Why not stop there? Grab. All the time people are grabbing money, aren't they? I don't know. Let's see what you're saying about the school dinners then. Anyone talking about school dinners here? Good afternoon to Stu Art. Good afternoon, Stu. Every bingo email. Search for your email. You're talking to the lad who didn't get his bingo tickets, are you? Okay, there we are. He's got all his. Search your email program for virtual ticket. Oh, is there a search box? I don't know anything about a search box, I'm afraid. Don't know anything about that. Now you're talking and I don't understand, but I'm sure it's in there. So thank you very much, Stu, and good morning. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Yes, John, I get that as well. I understand that. Heidi, my favourite school meal was chocolate pudding and white sauce, jam, sponge and custard and fish and chips. You are talking, Heidi. I think we had chocolate pudding and chocolate sauce on it. Oh, so delicious. I've got to go have to have my dinner shortly. I need to have something soon. I'm quite hungry now. Mick Davenport, hasn't screamed. I never said you'd screamed. Who said you screamed? Who said Mick Davenport screamed? Tell me now and they will be blocked immediately, dear. Who said Mick Davenport screamed? When was your name mentioned then? Please tell me immediately, dear. John, apple crumble was my favourite at school, yeah. I don't think there were any school meals at the London Oratory that I didn't like. Really. Mick's just having Marmite and caramelised cheese sauce. Sandwich, rather. Oh, I like caramelised onions as well. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Mick, Walker's cheese and onion crisps now. It's not like school dinners. We never had crisps. Trevor, quite right. Society nowadays has gone out the window. Yeah, absolutely. Rowan Riley always took his own lunch because I hated standing in line. Potato chips and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Nothing wrong with any of these meals. Sean remembers milk at school. I was the milk monitor. Yeah, milk monitor. I used to give out this milk. All the bottles, the next day, if the milkman hadn't taken them away yet, they stank, didn't they, those milk bottles? They had an horrible scent. Alan Wainwright sent another email. Got it. Okay, got that. Got that. Okay, I got your email. Fran talking to you, John, there. Jam roll and Polly custard. Thank you, Tony. Yes, please. Jam roll and Polly. All these sponge foods, dear. You remember the Heinz puddings in the tin? They weren't small, were they? I wonder how big they are now. I might get one. Just to see what it's like. See if it's the same size. I bet it's not. I bet they've made that smaller as well. The lovely sponge puddings, the Heinz ones. John, a mushroom omelette lunch. I think I'm doing omelette today, John. It depends, actually. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to be doing... No, actually, I've got spaghetti. I've got spaghetti. I think I'm having spaghetti and arrabetta sauce, which I made earlier. I'm trying to empty the freezer at the moment because that freezer has not been defrosted now for about 5 years. Seriously. I can't even get the top drawer open anymore. There's so much ice in there. Ice, ice, baby. Bum, 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 bum. Ice, ice, baby. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. I love it. Ice, ice, baby. Warm milk is something at school I never look forward to. It's been left out in the sun. Oh, awful. Awful. Well, I think we were incredibly lucky with our school dinners. They were absolutely delicious, our school dinners. All of them. All of them. Really. The primary school dinners were not so nice. I remember some old bag. It was cheese pie. And I thought, oh no, I don't want cheese. This is primary school. I suppose I was about 8 years old at the time. Anyway, you had to take something. They forced you to take something and be sitting on this level. And you'd get your dinner and pudding at the same time, wouldn't you? And you'd go back to your little table with all your mates and that'd be eating it. So I had the pudding and the potato. And I went to the bin and this old bag is standing there. She said, just a minute. She says, did you enjoy your pudding? I said, yes, thanks, miss. Well, perhaps you'll go back now and have some of my cheese pie. Go on, back to your seat. And I had to eat it. Forced me to eat it. It was horrible. Cheese pie. Oh, no, didn't. Well, I probably like it now, actually. Cheese. Perhaps, I remember the exact words. Standing there like that. Some great big old bag. Well, perhaps you'll go back and have some of my cheese pie now. And that was it. I had to go back to my seat. Stuart, prunes with custard. Oh no! Oh, my mum used to eat prunes. Prunes with custard was a strange school dessert. Then using the stones as Tinker Tailor Soldier. No idea what all that was about. No, thank you, Stu. No, thank you. Chocolate cornflake cake with mint custard. No, not mint custard. No mint custard. Thank you very much. Tony, we never had chips at school. No, neither did we. Hello to Peter Lake. Good afternoon, Peter. We never had chips at school. Not once. Not once. All right. iPhone news, boys and girls. Sean Pie. Sponge pudding and golden syrup. That's my favourite, Sean. That's one of the Heinz ones. Heinz sponge pudding with treacle syrup on top. Not in the microwave, darling. You steam them. And it comes out and the treacle on the top has gone slightly. It doesn't run down. It's gone slightly more congealed. Oh my God, they are delicious. We used to have those at scout camps because our scout leader, Ted Malden, wonderful man, he's not with us anymore. I didn't know he died. I would have gone to his funeral. He was a wonderful man. Him and his missus, they used to look after us so well. He was totally dedicated. Well, he used to work at Heinz, so he'd get loads of cheap stuff. You know, like I go to the tin shop. You know, the tin shop I often talk about near Chapel Hill, where Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex is. They have tin stuff in there, slightly out of date or something wrong with the tin, a little dent or something like that. Well, of course, he used to get it all from the factory where he worked. We'd have all these things. Nothing would have labels on it. Sometimes you say, what's that, Skip? Oh, let's have a look. Oh, that's tin potatoes. Okay. And you'd open it up and it'd be peas or something like that. Skip, it's peas. Oh, I must have got that one wrong. that kept happening. But he would bring back these sponge puddings. Oh, but at scout camp, we were only allowed to have half of one each. We wanted a whole one. Now I can have a whole one. Oh, so nice. Mandy, sponge pudding with jam and coconut on the top with pink custard. Alan, you're quite right. Prunes are the devil's food. Absolutely. Michael Lawrence, fruit salad. Sean, sponge pudding and golden doll. We've done that. Peter Lake, scampi and chips are tonight. Oh, gosh. Anyway, Apple iPhones. Who's got an iPhone? I've got one. Here's mine. iPhone 8. Battery's starting to muck up a bit. I now have to charge this twice a day now. So the battery's starting to go on that. That's coming up to 3 years old this year. I do have my iPhones a lot. When I upgrade, I don't get the new one. Usually, so, what is it now? I think it's 11 now. Is it 11 now or 12? Say it's 11. I'll go 1 or 2 down, you see? Because the new iPhone, they're just silly money. Thousands of pounds. Good afternoon to Maureen watching the show today. Peter says bananas and custard. That's nice. Okay, we'll move on from the food now. So I wouldn't pay. I'm sure I wouldn't pay £1,000 for a phone. God's sake, man. £1,000 for a phone. No, I'll go down a couple. You save hundreds by going down a couple. Hello to Dave O. Welcome, Dave. It was at scout camp the day Fixborough blew up. What's Fixborough? I don't know what that is. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Hello to Christopher Davis. I love you too. Chris. Anyway, in the Sun today, Apple's next iPhone could cost as little as £400, $399. I mean, they say as little. I think that's a lot of money, don't you? £400? I do. Some of these kids, they think nothing of spending hundreds of pounds on this, that, or the other. Or trainers, that's a good one, isn't it? My younger nephew don't think anything of spending £150, £200 on a pair of trainers. You must be off your head. They're doing them in Aldi for $9.99 at the moment, trainers. It says in The Sun, the tech giant, that's Apple, is reportedly planning to unveil the new iPhone 9 in March, so that's next month, at a major event currently being kept secret. Experts and reputable industry leakers have been promising a cheap new iPhone in March for months. The handset is expected to be smaller than recent models, borrowing the classic 4.7-inch iPhone 8 design. So that must be, is that 4 point, what's he say? 4.7 inches. What's an inch? 1? Yeah, it's got to be this. Which, I mean, to me, that's the perfect size, to me. Those great big ones people carrying about, and I see them trying to hold them against their ear. And the trouble is with those great big iPhones and things like that, the call quality is absolutely dire sometimes. Unless you're holding that phone in the perfect place, people just don't seem to be able to hold it properly, or they got the blooming finger over the bottom where the microphone is. They're too big, those big ones. You know, if you want an iPad, then buy an iPad or a mini iPad or a mini tablet of some sort. Feel free to buy one of those. But struggling with these great big phones and they don't even go in their pockets. So I'm all up this. I mean, I'd be happy with this again, really. Really, something like that. It says it's borrowing the classic 4.7-inch iPhone design. Prices of top iPhone models have ballooned, as you well know, in recent years, making them unaffordable for users on a budget. Well, I don't think just all users on a budget, normal people as well. Who's got £1,000 to spend on a phone? Surprisingly, a lot of the unemployed. Actually, they all seem to have the latest iPhone. Mind you, they buy them on the pay so much a month thing, don't they, I suppose? Oh, we've got no money for food, but look at this. Wow, we've got a brand new iPhone. You chose to buy it. The Fast Company now says the new iPhone 9 will cost £399 at launch, they reckon. This is not definite news. The price of the iPhone has been steadily rising, with top models now costing £1,500. Of course, it is more than a phone. You're holding a computer in your hand, aren't you? Far superior, possibly, to the one you've got sitting in the corner of your living room. The handset is expected to ditch the iPhone 11's all-screen design for an iPhone 8 style look, which will include a touch fingerprint scanner, which I've got on there, and a little 4.7-inch screen, which again is what I've got on there now. It says the mysterious gadget, rumoured as the iPhone 9, looks unlikely to feature Face ID, but it will have, where is it now? Excitedly, it's also mooted to run on the same powerful A13 chip featured in the new iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro. So, I mean, that's great, isn't it? That's great. I still think £400 is an awful lot of money for many people to find, to spend on a phone. But it's significantly less to find than like £1,500, isn't it, for the 11 or that? Remember that kid? Remember when I went out for the afternoon dinner around Christmas time with some friends? And I was setting up my Apple Pay thing so I could use the touch thing on the tube stations. I got my phone out and this kid says to me, "Oh, isn't it about time you upgraded your phone?" And I'm like, "I've only had that 2.5 years." He said, "Yeah, we're on 11s now. And what's your point? This is working?" All right, I might have to charge it twice a day now. I have to carry around a little battery thing now, the little charger. If I'm going out somewhere, I'll carry that around because we don't want you to miss anything, dear. Scrolling, my darlings. Let's have a look at your messages again. Thank you, Dave. Fixborough is a chemical plant near Grimsby. Sorry, Dave, I know nothing of that story at all. Mandy was the cigarette dealer at her school. Yeah, I bet I can imagine that. Yeah, they're £1 each. £1 each. My cousin Peter, actually, he started selling stuff at school, ink cartridges. He'd buy 4 ink cartridges, I don't know, for 20 pence, and he'd sell them for 10 pence each. That's how he made money. He used to buy ink cartridges. Of course, these kids, they don't want to buy a packet of 4 ink cartridges, the little plastic things. Very bad for the environment, of course. And he used to sell them at a vast profit. Now, what's he do now? He runs the computer things within a bank, travels all over the world, right? He's on hundreds of thousands of pounds, my cousin. They've got a massive mansion in Scotland, right? But here's the thing. Hates his job. Hates his job. Why? I just don't get it. Money is not everything, is it? As long as you're comfortable and you're all right, you haven't got to worry about money. As long as you're doing what you love. Would I be doing this if I didn't love it? No, I wouldn't. Certainly not. Although there's been a couple of times over the last few days, I have to say. That's all I'm saying. Chris, I stick with a Samsung Apple phone. Apple products are a rip-off. You're just playing for the name. I'm sure you are. My nephew and his wife and my brother-in-law and my sister have now got all Huawei phones. Huawei phones. They've all got Huawei phones. And they're very happy with them. And they moved from Apple to Huawei. So would that be Android? The camera on them is fantastic, I have to say. The picture quality of those films that they're making, and they seem to be all right with those. I'm kind of, and as I say, that they moved from Apple, so they've actually changed systems. I don't think I'd find it as easy to change system. Plus, I think there's something to do with Google and Huawei, or YouTube and Huawei. And of course, I do this on YouTube, and I wouldn't want to muck something up that I'm doing already, you know, by swapping to another network. And although Gary says it's almost identical to using an iPhone, using his Huawei phone. He's really happy with it. He's had it for months now, and his missus. He got one, and then she got one as well. So I don't know, really. It's a bit like, you know, obviously I'm on PC here. Apple computers, everyone says, I agree, are far, far superior to PCs. They are. And people have often over the years, you should go Apple. Can you just imagine having to change all this? No, not going to happen. It's difficult. I find it difficult. Once you've bought into a specific system, then it's difficult to change over again, isn't it? There you go. Mick gets them on contract. They get them on contract. They don't pay the bill, then get them unblocked. Is that right? They can. Stu, still on schools. In primary school, we had Valentine's postbox. Bet that won't be PC anymore. Clearly remember receiving cards and going bright red. I'm still shy. I never had any cards. I think I've had about 3 Valentine's cards over the years, to be honest, Stu. Mandy, a phone is a phone at the end of the day. You're quite right. You're quite right. If you think it's unfair then, Roy. That's how it is, mate. That's what I've said. I stick to that. That's what they decided to pay their money on. Sean, I've got a new Android phone. It's got the latest software on 3 cameras at the back. Is that the Huawei one? Is it? Fingerprint reader. The battery lasts 3 days. £60 off Amazon. Wow. That's good, isn't it? That's really good. Alan, I've got an iPhone. Couldn't get on with it. I've got a Samsung now. Look at that. Alan couldn't get on with the iPhone. I went from Nokia. That wasn't really a smartphone, was it? To an Apple. I don't know what it was. And I had real trouble. I got to the point where I'm sending this back, but I stuck with it and I got used to it in the end. And now that, you know, I think once you get used to it, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. Christopher Davis, I'd buy pen pieces, put them together and sell them, one in various colours. Also sell paper stunt airplanes in primary school. Yeah, Christopher Davis got his head on there, trying to make a little bit of money there and there. You know, like some of the buskers in the street. I'm very impressed with people who are trying to make money anyway, sort of, you know, when they've got some sort of perhaps talent or something like that, and they get their guitar out or their little electric violin or some with a keyboard or some. I've seen people, they set up a speaker in front of them or nothing. They literally stand there, put a hat in front of them and start singing. Great, very impressed by that. Anyone who goes out to try and make a little bit of money, if they are fully active and not disabled in any way, you know, then and they're out there trying to earn a little bit of money, great respect for that. Great respect for that. Great respect indeed. Huawei. Is that how you say it? Huawei? I don't know, dear. Mandy used to buy a packet of 20 for £1, then sell them for 20p a fag. £3 profit. Excellent, Mandy. Boris Johnson be very happy with you, mate. Hello to Artificial. Likes Apple because their software is the best. Android software is rubbish compared, says Artie. That's his opinion there. Okay. Roy's selling my merchandise on eBay, making a fortune. Don't care. If you can make money out of my stuff, then that's fine. You buy it from me, sell it on for a vast profit. I couldn't care less. Good luck to you, mate. Good luck to you. Absolutely. iPhones are made by Samsung, are they? I don't know. I know they're made in China, aren't they? Oh, sod making one of those. Have you seen them working in that factory? Don't think so. Don't think it's going to happen for me. John says his house is all Apple. Well, probably that's why you're so rotten in there, John. They're all rotting away inside an Apple house. How strange to have made a house out of an apple. That must be big. Yeah, Joey's on an iPhone 6 and 7, yes. As long as it works fine, Joey. Why spend the money? Especially if you haven't got it, just make it last as long as possible. So many people out there, they upgrade as soon as the next thing comes out. Can't believe it. RT says that Apple computers twice as good as Windows, but 5 times the price. You're absolutely right. They are. They are fantastic computers, those Apple. My mate's got one. He's got Apple computer. He loves it. But You've bought, once you've bought into one system, to change over, difficult. The signed pictures are the best sellers. How much do you get for those then? Chris, they are all Apple. All Apple. Right, one more story, gang. Wow, have we done all the stories? I'm always very happy when we've done all the stories. Very happy when I've done all the stories. And I've got to say, this chat that has slowed down is working a lot better. Some of you may not like it, but I think we're going to stick with this. It does work a lot better. We are able to fit in a lot more. Really, it is working a lot better, I find. This story also in The Sun today. I did have a story. Shall I do that one? No, I'll leave that one. In The Sun today, it's nearly... Oh, it's how does it get to 1:15? Oh, Tony, take your Apple Mac for repair and you'll see, Max, you're being ripped off. Oh, you ain't even got to go there, Tony. I have replaced a screen on that, right? Little piece of glass. I say that. They didn't replace the screen. Did they replace the screen? Or did they give me a new one? Do you know, I can't remember now. Don't remember. Reading. Was in Reading. Just a second. It's a while ago now. Yeah, I replaced the screen on that. £150 at Apple. You know, you wonder why you see so many people walking around with broken screens on their phones because they can't blooming well afford to have them done. So that was in Apple, and I thought, well, I'll come back and I'll think about it. I went outside. There's this little bloke out there, you know, on a desk. You know, this was within the Oracle Shopping Centre in Reading, which I have to say is fantastic, that shopping centre. I love it. Oracle Shopping Centre in Reading. And I come out again and went to this bloke, Asian bloke. He's got his little stall in the middle of the shopping centre. Phones fixed here. So I said, hello, mate, how much to fix that one? It was quite new at the time, only 6 months old. He said, oh, what's that one? He said, is that an 8? Yeah, okay. Starts typing on his screen. He said, yeah, we can do that for you today, mate. £100. I said, £100? I thought he was going to say 50 quid, right? Now, remember, you take it to Apple, they do it, something goes wrong, you're straight back there, all sorted. Little bloke on a desk in the middle of a shopping centre might not be so easy to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And I said, £100? Yeah, well, you get you get a 3 months guarantee for that. And I'm like, I said, well, it's £100. Surely you can do it cheaper than that. And immediately said, well, it's 150 at Apple. He knew already. I said, well, that's only a £50 difference. I said, no, it's not worth taking the risk, mate. He said, well, what did you think it was going to cost? I said, about 50 quid, maybe 60 tops. No, I can't do it for that. I said, fine, thank you very much. And I went back to Apple and I gave it to them and they fixed it. And this is the same screen on there 2.5 years later. And it works. Sometimes it's not worth taking the risk of a cheap repair. I'm telling you now. I've known people that have intelligent people that have repaired phones myself themselves. The screws in these are absolutely minuscule. If you've got any slight deterioration in your eyesight at all, don't try and do it. But they fixed them and it all looks good and all that, and then it goes wrong again. Not worth the hassle. Plus, a fix on the iPhone, I was able to put that through as a tax deductible item anyway. So that's it. So if you think that was bad enough, right? How about this, eh? Little mini iPad. That's again about 2.5 years old, that now. I dropped that onto my stone floor in the kitchen. Screen all broke. I couldn't believe the price of what I was charged. It was about 220 quid for a piece of glass. And I actually sent this away. And actually, I think they sent me back a new one. And they were, I don't know how much they were at the time. I bought this for using at the caravan, you see. Before I had the 2 computers, I used to get the news stories up there. And it kind of works, but it wasn't as smooth as I like things to be. So you know how much a screen costs. Again, I could have taken that to the man who's got a little booth in a shopping centre, but there's no actual guarantee. So it's shocking what they charge for the repair of a piece of glass on the screen. But there you go. You know that when you buy into it. Well, you don't know it, actually. You don't know that it's going to be that much to buy. You really don't. Chris, I was the child who used to take apart radios and plugs, electronics at the age of 6. It's my autism. Don't you worry about that, Chris. I don't think there's anything wrong. Were you able to put them back together, though, Chris? That's the thing. I think we all as children were able to take apart gadgets and devices and things, weren't we? We all used to take apart these things. The trouble is, Dad, I can't put this back together again. And Dad would look at it and, oh, well, that's in the bin then. Mick made money selling cars from his home in younger years. Made £20,000 in the first year. Fantastic. And my ex-wife spent a lot. Oh dear. Don't. I'm divorced. Don't even start talking about money. Oh dear. Right. Tempered screen covers. Yes, I've got those on here now. You see, I didn't do it straight away, did I? I kept. Well, I'll do the screen protector another day, and then you don't do it, and it gets dropped. As you can see, this is actually starting to come off at the bottom there now. Can you see that? It's starting to come off. But this has been dropped many, many times, as you can see. You can see little dents and damages there, but it still works. Still works. Absolutely. If you're going to spend that amount of money, put a tempered screen cover on there. You absolutely do. Absolutely do. Fran wouldn't trust without a cover on my mobile phone. Yeah, very good. Very good. All righty. One more story then, and then we'll do the raffle tickets. McDonald's. Who likes McDonald's? My nephew's ears have pricked up now, haven't they? Is he still here, Gary? I don't know if he's still here. Sauce. Do you like the McDonald's sauce? I have to say, when I was a dead animal eater years ago, I did enjoy a Big Mac. The veggie burgers are not the same. I'm sorry. There are veggie burgers that are good. TGI Fridays do one. They are very nice. Kentucky Fried Chicken do one. I think it's like a bean burger or something like that. I can't remember now. The McDonald's veggie burgers, not all that. If they did one that was like a normal burger, but soya bean, then it'd probably be all right. But they do these vegetable patty things, and they're not particularly nice, I have to say. Yes, I will. Now and again I will have one, but I don't really enjoy it, to be honest. Hello, there's Mark Bowles. All right, Mark. All right, Mark. How did it go? I haven't told them. I haven't told anyone, but how did it go? Was it good or not good? Do let us know. If you want to tell people, that's up to you, right? McDonald's Big Sauce. Do you like the sauce on it? You know that white, tangy stuff? Oh, it's delicious. Well, good news, boys and girls. Good news. McDonald's fans can finally buy their own pot of Big Mac sauce to use at home from tomorrow. Who's pleased about that? The so-called special sauce is a closely guarded secret and is usually only found in the signature burger. But now customers will be able to use it with their fries and nuggets too. Yum, yum. The fast food chain is adding 50 millilitre dipping tubs of the iconic condiment to the food menu from Wednesday tomorrow for 50 pence each. 50. That's not bad, is it? 50 pence for a little pot of that? Eh? And as I say, they go on sale tomorrow. You might want to stock up as they're expected to sell out quickly. There's no limit on the amount of tubs you can have. They're quite expensive, 50p for that, isn't it? And that expensive? You can buy a whole jar of tomato sauce for about 80 pence or 59 pence from Aldi. And they're charging 50 pence for this little plastic thing. Oh, dear. You can also buy them as a delivery order via Uber Eats. You say, I haven't got to leave the house anymore. Just pick up the phone. Oh, hello, could I have a burger, please? Yes, see you in a minute. Terrible. But there you go. You'll be able to buy those. Let's have a look. If you can't wait to get your hands on the stuff, they're giving away 250 bottles of special sauce. Bottles now, are they? Oh, hang on a minute. No, that was 50 pence for them little things. What's these bottles then? They're giving away 250 millilitre bottles of special sauce, so they're much bigger than the dipping tubs. They'll be given out to the first 250 people that ask for them, and you don't need to purchase anything on the menu to get one. And that's somewhere in London, I think. That's somewhere in London, but they're not saying where. They're yet to reveal the exact location, but they keep an eye on the McDonald's social media channels this afternoon for a bottle of their special sauce. Are you enjoying that? Do you like the sound of that? Eh? Alan Wainwright, £175 to replace an Acer tablet guard. So it's not just Apple at it, they're all at it. Oh, what is wrong with this chair? Just a minute. I know what's happened. The wood has moved back a bit. This chair is on a bit of wood, you see. And I keep slipping off the front of it. So annoying. These things are sent to testers here in the Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex. Just now, I thought I tore off some tickets already for today. Where the hell have they gone? Oh dear. Where's the blooming tickets I tore off for today? I tore strips of them off. What have I done with those now? What's that stamp for? Oh, that's for mixed thing, isn't it? Oh, I thought I put a stamp on that as well, didn't I? Didn't I put a stamp on it? Oh, hang on a minute. Just had to chuck that one away, didn't I? Right, hang on a minute. Let's put that on there. Ready? Now let me see if I can find... What on earth have I done with those raffle tickets now? Are you in there? No, not there, not there. Oh, I just have to use some more then, I suppose. That put all the numbers out, but that's irrelevant anyway, won't it? Must be here somewhere. I literally tore off strips of tickets and they were all ready to give out. Are they under there? Just losing the plot here completely, I think. Happy birthday from Ray. Put that over there. I must find these. There's Mark's. Your fridge magnet is them. Oh, there they are. There they are. There they are. I knew they were here somewhere. Strips of tickets standing by there. Yes, Alan, £175. Mine has a crack in it, but you can barely see it, so I didn't bother. No, don't bother unless you absolutely have to. Shocking. Shocking. Roy's got loads of old tablets around the house. Used to rebuild them. Yeah, I've got an old computer downstairs that I don't want. I don't know what to do with it, really. Take it down the dump. I've taken out the hard drive and destroyed that. You should always do that. You know, because you've got passwords and all sorts of stuff on there that you don't want other people to get hold of. And you must destroy a hard drive. Drill it. Put a drill through it. Even if you have to go out and spend 10 quid on a drill bit. You know, proper metal drill bit with a carbon. Oh no, I can't remember what the end is. I don't know what that is. A metal drill bit to go through metal, and you've got to put several holes for your hard drive to completely destroy it. Then it can't be read after that. Tony said people eat all this fast food rubbish and they wonder why they're fat. Well, it's not just people who eat fast food. Some people have got various things wrong with them, which makes it very difficult for them to lose weight, doesn't it? Hello, Shania. There's Shania. Shania, I'm glad you're there. You know when you said you got an empty envelope, was there a hole in the side of the envelope? Because this has happened again today now with Mick. He's got an empty envelope and it's got a hole in the side where the keyring came out. Did yours have a hole in it by any chance? When you have a veggie burger, do you get a pill with it containing the missing vitamins? Possibly, Artie. Possibly. I've been vegetarian for years now. I'm doing all right. You're clearly a dead animal eater, are you? It's not meat, it's dead animals. Thank you. Davo, a bit of wood on the chair, you mean? No, on the floor. On the floor. This is on a piece of wood. Otherwise, it rips through the carpet, doesn't it? Sean prefers Burger King. Yeah, I had one of their vegetarian burgers when I was last up in Lincolnshire with my nephew and his family. They were quite nice. They were quite nice. Right. Let me scroll down here, and we'll do Jack. That's right. Burger King is Hungry Jack. Hungry Jack's in Australia, where I have been. I've been to the one on Oxford Street where I've been raving all night. Yeah, that's a long time ago now. All right, let's do the raffle tickets, boys and girls. Let's see. Mark Bowles. Here we go. Tickets. Mark Bowles. Ooh. Ticket number 114, Mr. Mark Bowles. Mark Bowles won the raffle yesterday. And I'm going to walk down to the post box in a moment and post his prize off. Mark Bowles, we got... good afternoon, George Bond. Afternoon to you, George. Welcome to the show. Better late than never, eh, dear? Better late than never. Where are we? Laptop. No hole, just a normal envelope. Okay, strange, isn't it? Hello to Cooper Royal. Good morning, Cooper Royal. Welcome to our little show there. Colin Coates. Thank you, Colin. 115. Colin Coates, 115. 116 for Tony King. Let me just change pens. This pen's blooming useless. Have I got another pen in here? I must have another pen here somewhere. Oh, I can't find my other pen there. Never mind. Tony King. Colin Coates. Tony King. Alan Wainwright, 117. Fran Green, 118. 118. I'm glad you enjoyed your mushroom omelette. Shame about the dead animal later. But there you go. We can't all be perfect, unlike me. Michael Pullman is 119. Thank you, Michael. Hope you enjoyed your little bedtime stories today, Michael. Okay. Mandy Davenport, 120. There's someone who hasn't won anything yet. Mandy Davenport. She hasn't won anything. 1, 2... Why are these upside down? 121 for Diane Jebb. Thank you, Diane. Gary Butler, 122. Thank you, nephew. He's been round to my caravan. We're very pleased to report we caught another mouse. Oh, yes. George Bonds, 123. Oh. Do you know what I've just wrote on your ticket then, George? Ticket, please. Instead of your name for some reason. George Bond, 123. Thank you, Mark. Joey Mellon, 124. Thank you, Mark. I'll reply to you then when you've done that. Christopher Davis, 125. Is that everyone? Christopher Davis, 125. Anyone else want a raffle ticket? Please speak now, my darlings. Oh, have we scrolled? Oh, just a minute. No, we've jumped down. Just a moment. We jumps down then, doesn't it? Where did we get to on that one? Oh, we got lost. Diane Jebb. I know I did Diane. Then I jumped to Gary. Then I went to George, didn't I? So there we are. Michael Lawrence. 126. Sean Pye, 127. 127. Mick Davenport, 128. 129, Shania. Ross Herndine, 130. Jack Matthews, 131. One for Jack. Heidi, 132. Roy Brownlow, 133. John Aitken, 134. Yep. 135 for Dave. How's the karaoke going, Dave? You still going now? Dave-o? I can see you. They can see me. We can all see everyone, Cooper. Worry about that, no. George Bond we did. So we got to George and then it went to Joey, didn't it? Yes, there's Joey. There's Christopher. John Aikens. Have you never won either, John? Oh, right, okay. Thought you might have won something. Amelia? Did we do Amelia? Amelia's not been done, has she? There we go. That's excellent. Amelia. I'm glad you enjoyed the stories, Michael. Always make sure I do stories. I think it's more important to do stories than messages, to be honest, as you know. You are a donut, Chris. Oh, I like donuts, George. Tony hasn't won anything either yet. Never mind, darling. Right, that looks like all the tickets. If I've missed anyone out, please speak now, and I shall correct that for you. All right. Okie doke. Let's do today's birthdays. Once again, if you've got any more tickets, please do that. There we are. Only 4 birthdays today, gang. We've got birthdays today for Simon Hoadley. Today is 50 years old. Happy birthday to you, Simon. Okay. Mark Thistlethwaite today is 32 years old. Happy birthday to you. Ezmee 2 is 45 years old. And Chris Jepson. Hello, Chris. Hello, Chris. It's his birthday as well today. Cool, you must be going on a bit now, Chris, don't you? But you go to the gym, so it doesn't matter, lovey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Birthday. Now, as I say, there's no show tomorrow morning, gang. I've got to pop in to do some stuff tomorrow. May or may not be here tomorrow evening. Amelia, you've had a ticket. Your ticket was number 136. That is everyone, isn't it? Yes. So certainly won't be a show tomorrow morning. Maybe tomorrow night. Not guaranteed, though. All right, boys and girls. Thank you very much for joining us on a little bit of an interesting chat show today. I thought it was a very interesting chat show today. And I'll get your 2 envelopes off virtually as soon as I finish the show, okay? Heidi, you've had a ticket. You were ticket number 132, didn't you hear? Look, 132. Heidi Oliver, already done, dear. Do pay full attention to the show. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day and I'll see you again soon.